It's Wrestling Uncensored. Tonight on the show, we're previewing WWE Payback and AEW's All Out. Did I get that right, John? It's All Out, right? That's the one we're doing this week.
You got that right. It felt like there was a deep sigh before you decided, like, oh, more wrestling this week.
More wrestling. They won't let me rest. They won't let me live. I've taken a stand. I'm not watching all the wrestling anymore. Like, I'm watching some of the wrestling. I can't watch all the wrestling. And I'm watching less. I can't. It's too much, man. I can't handle it. But I'll watch the pay-per-views this weekend. I told you before the show I didn't even watch Raw. I saw some of Raw, but not all of Raw. Usually I watch all of Raw every week, but I couldn't handle it. I was like, you know what? That's enough. We got a lot of wrestling this weekend. I mean, I know what happened on Raw. I saw clips and stuff. That's all you need. You can watch Raw on Twitter if you really want to. Get the best bits.
The main thing was
Twitter.
The Trish Stratus throwing the chair at Zoe Stark. That was the main thing. As long as you saw that from Raw, that was the highlight.
What was that? Why did she do that? I did see that. What kind of botch was that? Why'd she throw a chair at her face?
Well, because she was trying to throw chairs in the ring to fill it up so then Zoe could use it against Becky. But the first chair, I think it was too, right in the face.
Did she get cut open?
So,
I didn't see that match at all because, like, Zoe Stark, Becky Lynch, falls count anywhere, whatever, like jabroni match. She got her hand up.
But still, she didn't really sell it and just, like, brushed off like, oh, whatever, not a big deal. And then she almost hit her in the head again when she kept throwing chairs.
Cool. I saw Becky crying at the end of Raw, too. That was sad. With the Bray Wyatt thing. That was sad.
Well, I mean, the match wasn't that bad. And, like, to be honest, I think that match was probably going to be better than what we're going to see tomorrow in the cage. Like, a Falls Count Anywhere match, you know, typically it's better than a cage match. Because cage match, you're stuck in there. There's not much you can do.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not really excited for Payback at all. There is nothing on this card I'm looking forward to.
LA Knight.
LA Knight, yeah, I guess, but he's wrestling The Miz, so the only match I really want to see is Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez, because those two are legit. That's a legit match. That's a legit title match. Everything else is for the jabronis. What?
I'm not big into that. Like,
no?
Rhea's all right, but Raquel, like, she's still kind of, like, new, and, like, you could tell, like, she's still rough around the edges a bit. Like, yeah, she looks big and she can do some good moves, but there needs to be more seasoning there. Like, it felt like they pushed her way too quick.
I think she's going to be a future star for WWE.
Oh, yeah. Potential, but
yeah,
not right now.
No, I don't think she beats Rhea right now, but I think, like, it's a big match because it's Raquel's first big match against Rhea Ripley, and I think that that's going to be a thing going forward, you know? In the next few years, I think they'll have several matches. But
maybe.
Other than that...
I don't know.
No?
I'm
really not high on Raquel? Okay.
I think it's going to take more time, to be honest. Like, it doesn't happen overnight with some people, and I feel like this is nice that they gave her a premium live event, but I think she's going to need quite a few more.
Well, we know Rhea Ripley's really good, so if Raquel can't have a decent match with her tomorrow, then we know there's a problem with Raquel, you would say, right?
Well, we saw this early on with Rhea as well. Like, when they gave her the Raw Women's title and let her run with it for a bit, it didn't last that long, and you could kind of tell why. She just wasn't ready for it. Like, had all the potential in the world, as you can tell, but wasn't ready. And I feel Raquel's in the same position right here.
Yeah, but Rhea's definitely ready now. She's doing some of the best work of her career. She's wrestling Raquel Rodriguez tomorrow in Pittsburgh. There is a Pittsburgh Steel City street fight for the tag team titles. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defending against the Judgment Day. Finn Balor and Damian Priest representing that team. No Dominic Mysterio. LA Knight against The Miz. Rey Mysterio defending his U.S. title against Austin Theory.
Oh, what's going on here? Jericho's getting attacked?
Jericho's getting attacked by Aussie Open on Rampage. Sammy Guevara coming to make the save for him. Because Jericho and Sammy Guevara are a tag team now. We'll preview Payback in a bit. You know, now that you mentioned AEW, I do want to get your thoughts on the pay-per-view from last weekend. I know you enjoyed the show. You thought it was good, but I wonder, just a grade on 10, match of the night. What did you think overall of AEW's All In? Big show at Wembley. A lot of controversy coming off of that with CM Punk. As, it always happens. But what'd you think of the show? What was your favorite match? Was it the Punk match? I know you really liked the Punk Joe match. I don't know if you saw our post show, but I liked. I thought Sting and Darby's match against
Swerve
and who?
Christian
Fox?
Cage.
Oh yeah, Christian. Yeah, exactly, Christian. I thought that was my favorite match. I know it was the Sting and Darby match, the Coffin match. I just forget who they were wrestling because it was mostly Darby versus Coffin. Just Darby taking ridiculous bumps on that coffin. It was nuts.
Swerve got hurt by that coffin too.
Yeah.
But I have to say that's probably my second favorite match.
Okay.
So I heard what you said about that. I'm like, to be honest, like it was really close to being my match of the night. Like I know it wasn't traditional wrestling kind of match.
Oh, okay.
But still, like for entertainment wise, high marks on that match.
Yeah, it was amazing, right?
Fantastic.
I'm a little surprised because usually you like that kind of straight up one-on-one real pro wrestling, no weapons, no nothing. Like that's usually your style of wrestling that you'll give the high marks to. I'm surprised that you. Yeah, it's what you prefer. So Sting and Joe, because that was the MJF and Adam Cole was pretty good too.
I thought it was good, but I had some concerns about it or critiques about it, like kind of what you did too. But to add on to those critiques, like not just the whole chair shot thing about getting disqualified, but also the whole count out thing as well. Like that didn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And the announcers try to justify it by saying like, oh, well, he'll get a rematch. Yeah, but you have the match right now. You have the champ beat. Why are you just going to accept the count out? That didn't make any sense. And like, I didn't get, like, it just made MJF look really bad if that's what they wanted to do. But like, Adam Cole's cheating like crazy throughout the match, doing every way he can to win the title, brainbuster on the steps and all that. But MJF is like, oh, I can't give him a tombstone on the table because it might hurt him for real. And then Adam Cole does it. So it kind of made MJF look really bad. But again, that's the story they wanted to tell. That's fine. It's a small little thing. But yeah, just the little things, like it kind of threw me off a little bit. And I guess for the most part, I'm not a big fan of this story. I know a lot of people are, but I'm not big on the whole Adam Cole MJF relationship. I actually don't mind MJF as a babyface, but them both as a team, not a huge fan of.
I don't love MJF as a babyface.
I think it's all right because he's still, like, as they say, a scumbag, but he's our scumbag in a sense. So I don't mind that. Like, he still acts like a jerk.
But he's so nice to everybody and so like, oh, thank you. Like, it's kind of, I don't know. He's such a good heel when he's just mean and rotten. To know that he has the other side,
still be mean.
It disappoints me. I don't want him to be nice ever,
Oh, he can be off. I'm sure, like, I saw something he tweeted to Roderick Strong or something. Like, it's pretty harsh stuff. Like, he can be pretty mean still. So, just because he's a babyface doesn't mean he's going to be tame. Like, he's still going to be hard. Just, he's going to be hard on the heels now, which is not a bad thing. And regardless, I think we're going to get him and Punk down the road eventually. And it's probably better down the road instead of Punk MJF at All Out, because that's too quick. Like, you really want that to build, and there's so much they could do with that as well. Like, in terms of promos against each other. The way MJF is now, and the way Punk is now, That could be a lot of fun. I think Full Gear is where it should be, but we'll wait and see.
So, what was your favorite match?
Hmm. Uh, Again, tough. I loved FTR and the Bucks.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good match. The only thing that kind of took me out was like they overdid the finishers too much. There was a lot of finish, and like it's not bad to hit a lot of finishes, but to me, actually, the match slowed down a little bit when they did that, and it took away a little bit of the drama. I found like it wasn't as exciting. It's like, well, okay, we're just hitting finishes now, back and forth, until finally someone loses, you know. So, like for me, like Punk and Joe,
Mm-hmm.
like it was a simple match, but it delivered everything you wanted in a match, and it didn't make it too complicated. Like to me, that was exactly what you needed.
It was very good. It was very, very good professional wrestling. Outdid their last match that they had on Collision.
Of course.
It was really good. It was very well done. Excellent match. Really good pay-per-view overall. Like, see, that's the thing. There's so many great matches that you're going over here. I think that's why this was such a strong pay-per-view. The in-ring action on this show really, really delivered so many great matches. So many people putting their body on the line. I know Darby Allin put out a tweet or something about how he's all messed up and beat up after the match, which does not surprise me. I'm sure everybody is feeling AEW's All In, especially those who work the show. And of course, well, actually, just before we talk about CM Punk, because I want to talk about Punk and everything going on, because we have to address Punk.
It's the main topic of the show. It's the main picture of the show.
It's come on. What are you gonna do?
It was trending for days. Yeah.
Yeah. But just the Bucks and FTR. The FTR winning, right, and still being the AEW Tag Team Champions, I find strange, because here you have a guy in Cash Wheeler who is facing charges of like flashing a gun at somebody in Road Rage, who in promos is now using it, saying, I don't know what my future holds. I don't know where I'm going to be. It's like, well, yeah, he's saying I might be in jail. Like, he's kind of alluding to it in promos, right?
Right.
And this weekend, instead of doing a rematch with the Bucks to put the titles on somebody else, they're teaming with the Bucks in a non-title match. So after this pay-per-view, they will remain AEW Tag Team Champions. So this guy has pending charges against him. And AEW's like, yeah, let's keep a belt on him. I like Cash Wheeler. I like Dax FTR. I like the team. The match was great. I'm not saying anything negative about them as people, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But from a normal person's perspective, the optics of this go, huh? You're doing what? It's just not smart. You could lose him to the law, you know? He gets a DUI right now. He goes out drinking, okay? He gets pulled over. What? It's done. Like, you think that they're just going to release him after one night in a drunk tank with these pending charges of waving a gun around? I don't think so. Like, one slip up for this guy, and he's locked up immediately. And then bye-bye tag team champion. Like, when this person has these types of charges pending against them, you should probably take your pretend wrestling belt off of him, even if he's going to be mad. Because it doesn't look good for your wrestling company if, by some chance, one of your guys goes to jail. Because the story is going to be AEW champion goes to jail. And that's bad. It's a bad look. Vince would never. Okay? He would never.
Well,
with pending charges... Oh, maybe the Usos. Didn't the Usos get arrested, DUI, and keep the tag belts, possibly?
Won the tag titles.
Won the tag titles in spite of it, right?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't wave a gun at anybody.
Okay, but still, like they had these and that was if I'm not mistaken, that's where Jimmy tried to get into a fight with a cop too, like, and that came out.
Yeah,
That was bad.
it
And
was
that's when
bad.
Naomi like was
No, it
driving
was bad.
backwards. Like,
It was bad. And
yeah,
I'm pretty sure I said, how are you going to give these guys the tag team titles? I'm pretty sure I was on that side then, John. I'm just saying, okay, I'll
right.
take back Vince would never. But come on, Tony Khan. Like, what? It just doesn't look good to keep FTR with the belts. But that's their decision, and that's what they're doing. And maybe, he didn't wave the gun. Maybe he doesn't even have a gun. Maybe it's all bullshit, and he's going to be fine. Maybe. Maybe that's the story he's telling Tony. I know a lot of wrestlers are spinning a lot of tales to old Tony Khan these days. So, who knows? I quit. So CM Punk.
So we're jumping to that now.
Well,
Okay,
what do you want to do? Do you not want to? I know there's people in the chat. They're all like, Alex Terrace, CM Punk is the worst pro wrestler of all time. Now that's unfair and false, Alex. Come on. Alex Terrace is in the chat hating on CM Punk. Bob Burgers and Ryan Katz think they should fire CM Punk. Seeing that on the chat. Shout out Angelo. My man Angelo Contagonis. Shout out Jimmy James as well.
Nice, Angelo. Cool.
Yeah, good
Jimmy
to
James,
see Angelo on a Friday night. I don't think you should fire CM Punk. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, John, I know you love CM Punk. You're Mr. Pro CM Punk, okay? So you're going to love what I'm about to say, okay? This jabroni, Jack Perry, went out on pay-per-view and,
Wow.
well, whatever, pre-show pay-per-view, and said, real glass, cry me a river. Provoking CM Punk directly from a story that was out there in the wrestling dirt sheets that CM Punk had confronted Jack Perry backstage a few weeks ago because he wanted to use real glass. So Jack Perry goes, real glass, cry me a river. And then CM Punk gets in his face about it. And that's where it should end. CM Punk gets in his face about it. If Jack Perry has a problem with that, guess what, Jack Perry? You're gone. You're fired. Because nobody's going to miss Jack Perry. Nobody's paying tickets to see Jack Perry other than his mom and his sister. People want to see CM Punk, goddammit. I don't give a shit how many people he pisses off backstage. In this instance, he was correct in telling Jack Perry don't use real glass because it's a dumb thing to do. And so what? And then Jack Perry goes and disrespects him like that, a veteran in the wrestling business. Do you have any idea what would happen to you if you did that to The Undertaker or Bob Holly? Do you have any idea what would happen to you if you were in a locker room with Harley Race or the Dynamite Kid and you were disrespecting veteran wrestlers? Do you have any fucking clue what they would do to you? You would be traumatized by the shit they would do to you. You got off easy. What the fuck, man? This is a problem with the wrestling business. Bunch of fucking bitches. You got to have investigations, and then you have the biggest draw in your company in his hometown not working because you have to have an investigation because Jungle Boy got hurt. Who gives a shit about Jungle Boy? What are we talking about? We talking about people that draw? Are we talking about people on the roster? One of the pillars. One of the pillars. Fuck off. Ridiculous, man. The fact that we're sitting here as a wrestling viewer having to watch AEW do another pay-per-view this weekend in Chicago and they don't have CM Punk?
Maybe.
I mean, come on, man. It's enough. It's enough of the bullshit. Who's drawing and who isn't? You think you could go and say, real glass Hulk Hogan, suck on this? He'd be like, hey, brother, we need to get rid of that guy. And he'd be fired. You think Virgil could go out on TV and talk shit about Hulk Hogan and get away with it? No. First of all, somebody would stick something in his butt, shit in his bag, or fucking lock his bag to the whatever in the arena somewhere high up that you could never get it. Have you heard horror stories of what wrestlers did to other fucking wrestlers in wrestling in the past? And people are getting mad that CM Punk put the guy in a guillotine? God damn. Get over it. It's fucking wrestling. You're physical in the ring. Things are going to happen. Feelings get hurt. It's a business where there's no real reason why you're getting something more than another guy. It's just what happens. Except for, you know what I mean? Like, there's no real reason why MJF or CM Punk would win a match or whatever. It's just kind of however Tony Khan feels at the time, right? So it's a weird ego fucking business, and things are going to happen. You know, you're not based on merit. You're based on... But CM Punk actually draws. You know? CM Punk is an actual draw. He's a known commodity. He's proven, and people want to see him.
Top-selling mercher right now.
How are Jungle Boys t-shirts selling?
Oh, I don't think he was listed.
That's my point, man. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what we're doing here at this point. Are we trying to make everybody happy? Are we trying to make... Is it supposed to be everybody's nice, everybody's cool, and everybody's friends? Or we're trying to entertain people and put on the best product possible? Because AEW doesn't seem like they're trying to do that. They seem like they're trying to be careful and please all the sides backstage. And that's not how it works. Some people are going to get pissed off. Some people are going to get mad. Tony Khan can't be friends with everybody on the roster. Some people are going to hate his guts, and he's going to have to learn to live with that.
Well, I have a big question here. Like, if he was told not to use glass before in the past, how does he get on, like, television or the pre-show in a situation where he could use real glass? Like, who okayed this?
Don't know.
So, you know, there's someone else at fault here, whoever okayed that. Because somebody obviously okayed that to let that go on, like, television like that. So that's a problem.
Sure.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
But Jungle Boy is the one who's kind of, you know, poking the bear.
Yeah. I'm not going to take that away. It's definitely, he gets a lot of the blame.
Do the windshield spot. You know what I mean? Do it. But don't go to the camera, real glass, da-da-da. Because when you say that, everybody knows what you're talking about, man. Come on. You're poking the bear.
And he knows.
And why would you do that? It's CM Punk. You're Jack Perry.
And he knows Punk's right there in Gorilla, too, because Punk's next. So he knows what he's doing. He's not an idiot, but immature, I think, is a very good word for it.
Super immature. And Jimmy James is saying Punk seems to have some issues that he can't deal with effectively. Now, I don't think that's the case, really, at this point. I don't think that's the case with this. There may be some other issues at play, but clearly there is a divide in AEW. And CM Punk is in a weird spot because he just fought with the bosses a year ago, and he can't really get out from under that. It's a stain. They hate his guts. They don't want to work with him. The Young Bucks, Kenny Omega are EVPs, executive vice presidents, founding executives of All Elite Wrestling. They hired a lot of the people that work there, including the travel people, apparently.
We don't know about all the details, though, if that's for sure or not. But some things are out there where it's interesting.
Right.
Interesting stories.
Well, CM Punk's travel, that's a real story, right? He showed up at the airport. He tried to get a car from AEW. He had no answer on the phone, so he took the subway, took the tube, the London thing.
And the fans helped him get there. Actually,
I mean, he could have taken an Uber or something. He could have figured it out a different way, I'm sure. But why not?
Still, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Fans helped him out.
But I mean, he's beefed with a lot of people, right? He has, and clearly
not just in AEW. Yeah.
Yeah, not just in AEW. Clearly, he's a guy that rubs people the wrong way, and he gets into, fights with people. So there's a track record for sure.
He's not afraid of conflict.
No.
He's not afraid to get into fights, yeah.
No, but, I mean, it does seem to swirl around him a lot. The problem is, he's really good at wrestling, and that's what we're watching. And a lot of the guys that you put out there are not as good as Punk. Like, by a lot.
Well, yeah. Right. I don't think that's the biggest problem. The biggest problem is the fact that you actually have something where people are interested in, and you can't really do anything with it because people can't work together. That's the big problem, because you have something that could really draw a lot of money,
yeah,
but you can't take advantage of it. To me, that's really frustrating.
Yeah, it seems that Kenny and the Bucks don't want to work with Punk. How much Punk would actually work with them, and Hangman too, right? I mean, all four of those guys. None of those guys want to have anything to do with CM Punk. They stay on Dynamite while Punk's on Collision.
Well, it's like when you suggested at first, like, Punk versus Perry, that's what they should book for All Out. Like, to me, it's like, that's not a match I'd really like to see. Like, okay, there's beef, whatever, but in terms of a match, I don't think that's a great match to see. Omega versus Punk, I think that could be a great match. And then you add on the stories, that sells itself right there.
I don't think a week's time is enough to build that. I think just based on Punk and Jungle Boy and all the news they made, if you could put that on the show on Sunday, it would get a lot of interest. It would get more interest than anything else you could put on this show right now.
Well, there is a path for Punk to be at All Out if they've finally decided that Punk will be at All Out. Because I don't know if you heard about what Tony Khan said at the All Out media scrum they did, I guess, on Thursday.
They're still investigating, and hopefully they can wrap it up by pay-per-view time.
Yes. So apparently we'll know.
Fuck off.
By the pay-per-view.
Fucking ridiculous.
And
what the fuck?
The idea,
bullshit.
I know, but the idea is, because Ricky Starks is challenging Ricky Steamboat to a strap match at All Out. Now, obviously, you wouldn't think that match would happen.
Poor Ricky Steamboat, baby. The battle of the Rickies. Whoever wins must call themselves Richard forever.
Well, I guess whoever keeps the belt that Stark stole. Remember, he stole Steamboat's belt. So that's why a strap match.
It should be a Dickie match. Whoever wins has to not go by Ricky, but by Dickie.
See, they're showing the commercial right now for it.
Dickie, John. Imagine having to call yourself Dickie Starks or Dickie Steamboat forever.
With Starks, it's not that bad. Steamboat, that would kind of tarnish the legacy a little bit.
You ever think about that? Guy's named Richard. Like, there's so many shorts you could do for Richard, right? If your name's Richard, you could be Rick, you could be Ricky, you could be Rich, but you could also be Dick or Dickie. If your name's Richard, why would you make the choice to go with Dick? And that always confused me, too. Like, it starts with an R, Richard. How is Dick short for Richard? Doesn't make any sense to me. Anyways.
Well, I'm sure there's a story behind that if you look it up. I don't choose to look that up because I'm not very interested in that.
Dickie Starks is what I'm talking about, okay?
That could happen one day. That's not that bad. But I don't know about you. I don't see Steamboat wrestling Sunday.
So Punk will save him.
I don't really want to see him. Yeah, well, that's it. Punk would save him, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Save all of us, because I don't think we want to see Steamboat get beat up in a strap match.
Yeah, I mean, it should be Punk. But that's pretty mid. This whole card is like... It feels like
Starks,
just a long episode of Dynamite.
I don't know. Starks against Punk, that's a good match.
They've done
Especially if
it
it's
on
gonna be a strap
Collision.
match.
Didn't they do it already?
It was a very good match,
Yeah,
and
okay.
it's gonna be a strap match.
Mm. This doesn't feel like an
It's
important show because nothing's built up and there's no titles on the line, really. It's like a nothing show.
we do have a title line. We're talking about
A couple
the Ring of
titles.
Honor television title,
Yeah.
and I believe the TBS title.
The international title.
There you go. It might
Yeah.
be the main event of the show.
That could be good, actually. Orange Cassidy's promo this week was very good. At the end of the
Yeah,
show,
but I feel like he's gonna lose now.
yeah, it was something, though. It was like, oh, this is the real guy, Orange Cassidy. This isn't the character. It was good. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, shit, there's a guy there. There's a guy behind all this. I didn't know he was there. Who is this guy? I like the guy. I was like, oh, okay. There's something there. Like, if he breaks into that more often, there's more depth to the character. I liked it a lot. I was like, oh, okay, this is a character you can take seriously now. Because for a lot of it, it's kind of like jokey, don't care, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But if he adds in the, like, this means everything to me, and I'm here, and da-da-da, I was like, oh, okay. Good promo, Orange Cassidy. I liked it. And then, did you notice Jon Moxley pie-faced him, and then Orange Cassidy punched him?
Well, then he flipped him off. That's how the show, I think, went to black, if I'm not mistaken.
But I heard that CM Punk pie-faced Jungle Boy, and then Jungle Boy threw a punch. Maybe they were reenacting?
Oh, okay. Well, again, the stories. Apparently, there's
We just
footage of
fired
this
Jungle
too,
Boy,
right?
though? Because they just fired Jungle Boy as a point. Like, if you mess with CM Punk, you're fired. Okay? We're not going to fire the Young Bucks or Kenny Omega. We understand that these guys are big parts of the company, and we're not going to fire them. But you got to imagine that the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are talking a lot of shit backstage about CM Punk. You know? And a lot of the people they're talking shit to, feel like, they could say and do whatever around CM Punk. Maybe Jungle Boy's one of those guys. Tony Khan should let him know. You don't mean that much, Jungle Boy.
It's just insane how many stories you hear about this supposed fight, and so many different versions of it. And it's like, what are you supposed to believe on this one?
I heard
it was
Punk
already,
put him
like,
in a choke. That's like the
Right.
main thing that I heard. Punk, it's unclear who threw the first punch or whatever happened, but Punk put him in a choke. And when I hear that, I think he probably put him in a front face lock and guillotined him.
And then there was the story that Miro got in Punk's face, whatever, or Punk got in Miro's face.
But they were just joking around, apparently.
But someone took that as like it was real.
Right.
And then, got mad at Meltzer's camp because, a lot of people feel that Meltzer's like just saying the Bucks side of the story. And
right.
So there's a huge divide in terms of the AEW fan base. It's crazy right now.
And I think Meltzer rated that Samoa Joe CM Punk match pretty low on his ratings, and people were like, what's that, dude? He's very like the side of the
rating.
elite.
I mean,
he's friends with those guys, and he claims to not be, and he's like not biased, but it's like, well, come on, friend. Like, once in a while, you could just say, yeah, these guys are my friends, and CM Punk's kind of a dick to me, so what are you going to do?
Well, again, it's how he feels in the match. I mean, if he doesn't like a particular match, he has every right to say that. But
sure, but when everybody else is like, oh, that was one of the best matches of the show, and he's like, it's like, what?
Well,
it takes away some legitimacy from a guy who's like one of the lead legitimate guys in this. I mean, what am I talking about, really? Trying to say he's one of the lead journalists in pro wrestling. I mean, what the fuck does that even mean? The guy's fucking talking about backstage fights between two guys pretending to fight in a fucking ring. Like, it's all stupid if you think about it.
It's just crazy it lasted for days. It's insane.
God, it's so crazy. But I just think, like, basically, who makes money for me if I'm Tony Khan? CM Punk. Who's expendable? Jungle Boy. So, it's not hard. And then Punk apparently was yelling at Tony Khan like, I quit, I hate this place, I don't want to be here, da da da. I mean, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, and then he's taking photos with Samoa Joe, the referee, Jerry Lynn, who probably produced this match.
Right.
He's doing that after the match, like, yeah, but he's all mad and all that. Like, I don't know. Again, a lot of things don't add up, but again, everyone's gonna have their own stories and everything. And I guess we'll just wait and see what happens. I mean, he didn't get fired last time, so I have a feeling he's not gonna get fired this time. Hopefully, they figure it out by All Out, because yeah, I think you really need him for All Out.
Yup.
Pay-per-view needs him.
You need CM Punk at All Out. You know who you don't need? Jungle Boy.
Yeah, it's pretty fair to say that.
He's
yeah,
unnecessary. He lost a Hook on the pre-show.
it wasn't a bad match though. I mean,
No, it was pretty
give
cool.
him credit. Yeah, it was a good match.
The fuck is this? What is this? The ass match? What is this stupid shit we're watching?
Well, you're watching a women's tag match. Sky Blue's coming out, and I guess
Sky Blue, who's like got very tiny shorts and comes out and just shakes her ass. Because, like, you open Twitter, people are like, look at Sky Blue's ass. And you're like, all right, I get it. She has a ass that she shows in her wrestling gear. And then Anna Jay is the same deal. It's like an ass match. Where's Billy? Shouldn't Billy Ass be refereeing this shit? Willow Nightingale and Sky Blue against Taya Valkyrie and Anna Jay is the main event. Picture yourself for a moment, John. Buying tickets to AEW Dynamite, sitting there watching AEW Dynamite, and then AEW's like, stay tuned, guys, Rampage, we're gonna do tape Rampage coming up, and you sit there and you wait all night, and the last match you see after waiting 3-4 hours of wrestling is Sky Blue and Willow Nightingale versus Taya Valkyrie and Anna Jay.
They should really tape Rampage before
They should cancel
Dynamite. No, just tape it before, because I mean, TT's paying you for an hour.
Stupid fucking
Put on
shit.
some action. You have a lot of wrestlers, so put them on the show. It's fine. But maybe tape it before Dynamite, because I don't know about you. Like, when they come to Montreal, if there's something after Collision or Dynamite, that's something really interesting. Yeah, like, I don't know about you. Like, 10 o'clock, that's good enough for me.
The way things are going, I hope they don't come, because I don't want to go.
Oh, no, man, Punk's reaction Montreal is going to be insane. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I mean, if he's still with the company.
I would think so.
Apparently Angelo's trying to call into the show. I don't know if I'm seeing it. I don't see anything. Let me see. Let's see. Can I do that? No? I don't know what that is. Something's being shown to me. I don't see a caller. I don't know, Angelo.
You might have to try again, Angelo.
I'd have to try again. Give it a second. I don't know. Johnny. All right. So AEW, while we're on this subject, see if we can. Do we have? I don't think we have Angelo. I don't even know. He hung up. Oh, okay. We had him and then he hung up. I don't know what happened.
Call back if you can, Angelo.
Yeah, if you want to join the show. Angelo joined over at join.ringsidereport.net, join.ringsidereport.net, support the channel, become a member of the show like Angelo did, and then you can call in if we can figure out how to get you on. In theory, we can have you on. I think. All right. I'm going to get back to business because I don't know what's happening. What do you think, John? What should I do?
I think we should run down All Out. No, run down All Out right now.
Should I just sit around and do nothing? Should I just...
We have a lot of matches for All Out, so let's
okay.
go through the matches.
Luchasaurus defending his TNT title against Darby Allin. Another match for Darby. Does he take the TNT title from Luchasaurus? I'm going to say no.
I would say no, too, just because, one, they won it All In, right? And he beat Christian already, too, so it's like, they gave Darby a lot. And, like, they went on Dynamite, like, he almost always wins, so I feel like, yeah, he's just not going to win the TNT title. They gave him a lot of everything, but the TNT title, it just feels like it was his time before. Now it's Luchasaurus' time.
I think we have Angelo.
I mean, I froze on you here.
Did you freeze on me? Did we lose John when we got Angelo?
You did.
What the hell? John, are you with me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
I hear Angelo, but now Johnny is frozen in time.
But I think you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
But frozen in time, yeah. It's all right. Same thing happened to Link. Zev knows what I'm talking about.
Angelo, I think you got the show on in the background. I could hear myself like several seconds later.
Oh, I can't hear Angelo.
Well, see, Angelo's on a delay. Angelo, what's going on? Can you hear me, Angelo? This is a mess, what's gone on right now. You can't hear me at all? Angelo can't hear me now.
We're off the rails here a little bit.
I hear Angelo. Yeah, Angelo, I hear you. Johnny is frozen. And I guess Angelo can't hear me? What is happening? Okay.
We are all out.
So Angelo can see us, but he can't hear us. I think we're working on it, but I don't know what's happening with Johnny. Johnny, can you hear me? I see Angelo. He's like, can you hear me, Angelo?
I can see
Angelo can't hear me.
Upside down.
What the fuck is going on right now? John, can you hear me? Can anybody fucking hear me? Am I even talking to anybody right now?
Can you hear me, Dave?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
I hear you, but you're frozen.
Yeah.
The show got... Yeah, Angelo's upside down and can't hear us for shit. No, he's still upside down.
You need to work on his audio, too.
Maybe we should just... maybe I'll leave.
Well, I think you might need a restart. Maybe I'll restart, too. I'll try to restart.
John's going to restart his gimmick. And Angelo's upside down and can't hear us for shit. Wait, you can hear us now?
I think
Hello?
I can move now. I think I'm unfrozen.
Yeah, you're not frozen. I don't think Angelo can hear us.
I think Angelo might need a reboot, too.
Angelo can't hear us. Maybe he needs to... He's going to try again, apparently.
Well, that's fun. The show fell apart a little bit there.
What
Technical difficulties.
Fuck, man. What happened?
Little bugs here and there. It happens. We don't get a caller too often, so technology that we're not used to.
Everything went to shit all at once.
Rampage still going, though.
Miro and Powerhouse Hobbs.
That's the next match?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't care.
I don't even pay attention.
What the fuck just happened there?
I saw Angelo. That's all I saw.
I know, me too. Total debacle.
Is he back?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
Well,
God.
You haven't been paying attention to Miro and Hobbs. I don't know if you saw.
What is this
Miro
now?
and Hobbs. Looks like that's.
I don't see.
Angelo
I don't
still...
hear Angelo, and he's upside down. There's no Angelo. What's going on? What is happening right now? What is
It looks like he's frozen.
Why is this? Why is any of this happening? I don't get this. I'm about
I
to
think
shut
he's
down the whole
frozen.
fucking show right now. What the fuck, man? There's Angelo. I think Angelo's back. Angelo, can you hear me? Angelo, can you hear me?
Oh, I heard him.
I heard him, but I don't think he can hear us. And now
I
he
can hear
sounds
you,
like a
Angelo.
robot.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes. Yeah,
But you're seeing me upside down.
that's right.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, I have a question. What do you think will happen with Punk with his real world title if they're gonna merge the title with MJF's?
Yeah. John, did you understand the question from like the two robot upside down Angelos who now can't even hear us answer his question?
I got what he said, and like what would happen to the title. Like they would just make it into an undisputed title, pretty much. But I don't know if it's gonna happen anytime soon though, because we're not getting MJF versus Punk. I don't think at least until November. So like they're still gonna have two world titles for now.
Oh, God.
But eventually we're gonna have an undisputed title, I think.
They got to resolve this as quickly as possible.
Yeah, but we need a build though. You can't just like, oh well, we need to resolve this next week on Dynamite or Collision. You know, it's a big story.
Yeah. Angelo, did you get that? Is he still there? Oh, he's still there. He's moving. Hey, Angelo, can you hear us? I mean, I see him, and I hear him, but he
Yeah,
can't.
that was just my only question. Apparently, I cannot hear you guys. I'll also have to rewatch the show and hear the answer to my question.
Well, we did answer it, so that's
Sorry.
good.
Sorry,
Sorry,
guys.
Angelo.
Thanks anyway. Have a good rest of the show.
It was good to hear from him though.
Yeah. Fuck.
It's a work in progress.
I guess.
The members calling in. The more it happens, the easier it'll get.
Yeah, keep calling. We got to
Yep.
do more tests on that, apparently.
That's it.
Well, it'd be good.
It would be great if Punk.
We did
just
have
have
Angelo call in one time when we talked to him. I remember that happened before, but
Different setup, I think. I feel like we've upgraded, but we didn't upgrade other aspects possibly,
you're
or
probably
they didn't
right.
upgrade properly. Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, I think they should do a MJF CM Punk match as soon as possible because 2 world champions is not great.
I would like we just keep the AEW title that Punk has. It kind of is a little bit of like an homage to Hogan, how he spray painted the title.
Yeah.
NWO, now it's the straight edge title, so it's not too bad. I like that, but I feel that they just do away with it once there's an undisputed title.
Yeah, I think you should make it undisputed as quickly as possible. Johnny doesn't think they're going to do it to November, Angelo. I know you couldn't hear us. Sorry about that, man. I don't know. We'll figure it out for next time. We'll get you on. I think they should try to resolve it as quickly as possible. I don't like having 2 world champions in AEW. I know WWE has like 7 world champions, but different story. And I think it takes a little bit away from MJF having CM Punk walking around saying he's a real world champion. Like, this is MJF's first run. He's having a good run with the belt. I think you take away a little bit from him by having CM Punk walk around and say, oh, no, I'm actually the champion, It's disrespectful.
Well, I mean, we had that confrontation last year at All Out, right? With Punk and MJF, and that was supposed to be the match that we never got at Full Gear.
Mm-hmm.
So why not give it to us this year at Full Gear? Kind of full circle.
Yeah. November's not that far away. We are in September.
We still have a lot of pay-per-views left, though.
I hate September. It's my
School's
least
in,
favorite.
man.
It's my least favorite month. I fucking hate September. Ugh.
That's all right. I mean, the last month before the baseball playoffs. Like, it can be
Miserable.
exciting.
Ugh.
Okay.
I wish I could sleep through all of September. Like, just fucking freeze me till
Calm down.
Freeze me till April.
Calm down, Green Day. Relax.
Oh yeah, that is a song, isn't it? Jesus. Whoops. I didn't even mean to. That is a song, right? Sleep in September. What is that? Wake me up September.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it's over, right? Something.
The Kanye version's pretty good.
Kanye has a version? I never heard that. Is it AI Kanye?
AI, yeah.
Why do you listen to AI versions of music? What is wrong with you?
Because Kanye is fantastic at AI. Like, wow. I'm like, man, Kanye isn't too bad. Like, if he actually sang songs I liked.
Yeah, Kanye does songs that I like. They're called Kanye songs. They're pretty good. I like them. So I'm good with regular Kanye, not AI Kanye. Yeah, sorry. It would be good for you to call in this weekend, Angelo. We'll get you on. We'll talk to you for a while, man. I don't know what happened tonight. We'll try and figure it out. Sorry, Angelo.
Got 2 nights. We got Saturday and Sunday. We're here all weekend.
Good thing I got a big stash of stuff to keep me going. You have any idea the shit I have to put in my body to get through this wrestling, John?
I recommend Powerade. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not what I'm doing.
Plug.
I got other things going.
So, Miro,
turn up
Hobbs,
the fucking dosage this weekend. I'll tell you, something's gonna give. What?
I said Miro and Hobbs. I got Miro. Who do you got?
Big meaty men slapping meat, I guess. I don't know. How is this a match?
It's 2 big guys. They want to go at it.
Okay. Miro's shown up out of nowhere. He's been disappeared forever. No one's explained where he's been. It's like, what? Oh, there's Miro. Okay. Why no explanation?
Well, he said he had to find himself or something. Now he doesn't. Now he's not controlled by God or his woman or something. So now he's free to do what he wants, kind of thing.
Cool. I think Miro will win because he's Miro, and Miro's cool. Chris Statlander defending the AEW TBS Championship against Ruby Soho. Statlander's not going to lose here. Soho's not going to win, and that's how the match will go. I really don't care about this match. They had a thing on Dynamite this week that I hated. Statlander, Baker, and Shida beat Nyla Rose, Emi Sakura, and Marina Shafir. And then Ruby Soho hit the ring after the match, hit her finisher on Statlander, and took her belt. And then walked up the ramp with her belt. And then just left it there. Like, why not take it? What's that?
Yeah. I think it was just more of a mind game kind of thing. Like, it's going to be mine.
I didn't like it. The match wasn't great either. Bunch of nothing. And Statlander Soho, like, the match could be all right, actually. They're not the worst, but it's got no real build. It's got no real heat. It's just a match happening on TV.
Well, the story could be better because they have history. Like, it was the Statlander match against Ruby that Ruby won, where people were upset. I remember you were upset, where it's like, oh, Statlander should have won that match. I think it was in the Owen Hart tournament. And you said Statlander should have went to the finals.
Uh-huh.
But Ruby won.
Yeah.
And I remember the fans, too, were like, booing her, and she was a face at the time. So they could have done something with this, but they didn't. And that's kind of sad that they didn't play up to that kind of history. But they had a good match in the past. They can do it again.
They blew up that whole group, too. They had a good thing going with that Outcast group.
They're wrestling tomorrow.
Who?
It's going to be the Outcast, I believe, against Britt, Shida, and Statlander tomorrow on Collision.
Oh, yeah? So they're still together?
Yeah, see, that's where that match, that 4-way, didn't make a lot of sense. I was just trying to appease the crowd, I think. And it's like, screw the storylines. We're just going to, shift this all so Saraya can win this match. And that's pretty much what happened. Like, I'm not mad about it because I like Saraya. I'm glad that she got her moment. But in terms of like how the story was going, that made no sense and completely just kind of ruined a lot of what they were building. But I don't mind the end result.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Saraya as champion is good, but the group, I don't know. Orange Cassidy, Jon Moxley could be good. Orange Cassidy had a decent match with Pentagon. People getting all mad that they exchanged a few
Canadian Destroyers.
Yeah. What do you expect? You know? I mean, let these guys do what they do. Who gives a shit?
Well, see, the one thing is, like, I get do what they do, but the problem is the first ones they did, they absolutely didn't sell whatsoever. And again, this is going back to the whole, like, Japanese style, hard style kind of thing, like, no selling. And that seems to be the mindset where I think in North America, that doesn't really, like, translate very well. Well, a lot of people look at that and it's like, that's not good. That doesn't look good because you're taking away from what the move is supposed to be. So not a lot of people are into the whole Japanese no-sell style. So when people see that, a move that's so devastating, someone no-sells it, for them it just comes off that it looks bad.
I don't know if you could say it's Japanese no-sell. I've seen a lot of guys. I mean, I saw guys, get suplexed and stand up and go, rah, and, Chris Benoit did it. I saw Hogan take a bunch of chops to the back, bunch of forearms that would, earlier in the match, Hogan's dying from the forearms to the back. Later in the match, when he's hulking up, brother, he's no-selling everything he's doing. Tatanka hopping through the ring, no-selling all the shit they were doing to him. People no-sell. It happens. And this is just a version of that. It's just newer, and they do Canadian Destroyers a shit ton in wrestling these days, so they did a few exchanging to each other. It wasn't like people want to go all crazy about these things, but if you see it in the context of the match, it kind of worked. If you see it as a standalone clip, which most people did, I think, they're like, oh, this is terrible, blah, blah, blah. But if you see the match, it made sense. It made sense in the context of the match. So I hate when these nerds get all up in arms about like a certain spot in a match being like the death of wrestling. Like, come on. It wasn't that bad. They weren't wrestling like an inanimate object, which I don't dislike. Like, I don't like when they wrestle inanimate objects because it's like, hey, like, don't give it away entirely here, man. Come on. What are you doing? It's a little too far. Right. Like the wrestling doll or whatever they do. Like, you're not actually supposed to wrestle the broom, Like, I get it. But you're not supposed to actually wrestle the broom. It's a metaphor. You could wrestle with a broom and have a great match. You're not supposed to actually do it. Some of these guys are like, I'll do it. And they do it. And it's like, yeah, it's impressive. But it's like, you're kind of giving the tricks away of like what this is, Come on, guy.
Well, the main thing you got to understand, especially independent wrestlers, that they don't make a lot of money. So if someone throws them any kind of money, they're going to take it. So I don't hate on wrestlers for, being, people that love money.
Yeah, and like if you do it right, people are going to put clips of it on the internet, and, Jim Cornette types will get really mad, and then the young indie wrestling fans will be like, that was amazing, and there'll be a battle, and you'll get more money and more hype and more bookings because of it. So I'm not blaming the wrestler. I'm just saying for me, I'm like, man, what is that stuff? And some of them do it in like DDT, but that's kind of still an indie promotion. So you're right. You're right.
You have to understand too, if you're watching an Orange Cassidy match, you have to expect something like that's going to happen almost. Yeah. So again, it's within the context of how it's happening. Like, if that was more like, say, that was Dustin Rhodes doing it back and forth with somebody, it'd be like, well, what the heck's going on there?
Yeah.
But you don't have to worry about that. I don't think Dustin would want to do that. So.
And Orange Cassidy did a no-armed, hands in the pockets, hip toss. Right?
Yep.
And people are like, yeah, that's fine. But that Canadian Destroyer spot, that's bullshit. You're doing a no-arm hip toss. You're running across the ring with your hands in your pockets. You're grabbing a guy with your elbow, and he's flying over you. And people are like, that's not what they're getting upset about. Come on, man. It's a show.
Well, that didn't make the rounds. What made the rounds was the Canadian Destroyers back and forth, that one clip. So
because people have seen the no-arm hip toss before, right? You haven't seen this before.
The best part of the match was actually when I think Orange did the dive and Penta caught him like in a grill press and then shoved him into the barricade. I was like, wow, that was pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah. I wish Penta had more of a character because his wrestling is really good. He looks really cool, but like he did a promo before the match with Alex Abrahantes. They buried him with that guy. Because him as a wrestling manager, as a babyface wrestling manager especially, like what is that? It's terrible. He should speak Spanish only and have subtitles or something. Because this Abrahantes as his mouthpiece, I was watching Pentagon and I was like, he's been a star for the company for several years. He's cool. He's a good wrestler. He's got some size to him. And he's gone nowhere. Why? There's no promo there. There's no no character advancement. They did that Penta Oscuro thing where he's evil or whatever. It's unclear what the hell that was. No video packages, no nothing, really.
Well, again, you have to really listen to every word the commentary says because that's like his evil side or whatever, right? So that's what came out during All In.
They push these things too fast, man. They try to just get through these things. They're like, this is evil and it's Penta Oscuro and everybody's supposed to understand this. And you go, what? Well, haven't you watched the past 16 YouTube videos that he posted to his Twitter channel that he has, 20 subscribers to? I'm like, well, no, man. I don't. What? I'm supposed to do homework?
Sure we missed a bunch of stuff on Rampage. Yeah,
probably.
We're far behind, I'm sure, on what's going on in AEW lore.
But that's not the point. The point is, when you see the promo package with Penta Oscuro, whatever, and Alex Abrahantes, and it's the same old shit, and it's not that good, and it's like, Pentagon's gonna do this because Pentagon has Cero Miedo. Like, it's cool. I like that part,
right.
But like everything else is like, skip to the end. The matches are good. His look is great. But that promo, and there's just no character there. And him and his brother have been in the same spot in this company since they started.
Not a bad spot, though. I mean, they were tag champs.
Yeah, but...
And trios champs.
But at this point, when I see Pentagon, I go, whatever. And him losing to Orange Cassidy is not a shock.
Yeah, but they made it seem that he just barely, he rolled him up.
Yeah, but you knew he was losing before that match started. You knew Pentagon was for sure going to lose to Orange Cassidy before the match started because Pentagon isn't really a threat. Pentagon isn't really a force. This is a guy who was wrestling Kenny Omega in singles matches a few years ago in AEW, and now he's just, a guy on the roster. They haven't advanced him in any way.
But that's a strong way to lose, though, to Orange, who's pretty much beaten everybody that he's faced. To be like, he had to barely squeak by. That was a strong performance, I would say. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually push Penta eventually as a single star.
What about Orange? Does he beat Jon Moxley here? Does Jon Moxley become the new AEW International Champion?
I think so, because think about Moxley now. He was, 4 times AEW World Champion. I think that's done for now. So now give him a new championship, something else for him to do. And finally knocking off Orange, who's the longest reigning champion. And after Orange's promo on Dynamite, it just feels like, well, this is the perfect time for it to happen.
Yeah, I think Moxley probably wins. Orange has had a good run, but I don't think he should beat Jon Moxley on pay-per-view. I think Moxley should win this match. Just, you got to preserve Moxley to a certain degree. I saw his record on Dynamite, they showed it when he had his match against Commander, right? And they're like, Jon Moxley's record on Dynamite is like 50-3 or something. This guy doesn't really lose matches.
But they didn't win Stadium Stampede. So, and Orange won the match, right? So,
yes, that's true. Moxley's turn.
Yep.
I agree with you on that. How about Kenny Omega against Konosuke Takeshita? This match, doesn't have a lot of heat for me. It'll be good, probably match of the night. But there's just nothing behind it.
well, I think Kenny's going to win because didn't think Kenny was going to lose at All In. So I thought it would be the opposite way around. I thought they'd win All In and lose All Out, but okay, we'll flip-flop it. Lose All In, win All Out. Okay.
Yeah. I think Kenny's going to win this match. Should be good. Bullet Club Gold. The Guns, Jay White and Juice Robinson take on FTR and the Young Bucks. Yes, they're teaming up this time.
It was weird, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They set it up with a little promo on Dynamite. I don't like the idea of this match.
It won't be bad. I mean, sure, it'll be a good match, but yeah, like
For a pay-per-view?
for a pay-per-view, it seems very disappointing.
Do FTR and the Bucks just win, or do they have some sort of issue between the teams that causes them to lose? That's my only question.
Well, they have issues already, so yeah. Bullet Club are actually a faction, so they should win.
They should win. But AEW doesn't always make sense, so they might not.
Well, I got Bullet Club on this one.
Yeah, me too. I do too. I think, FTR and the Young Bucks should do something where they get mad at each other and then they lose the match. Adam Cole and MJF defending the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles against the winners of the Battle Royal tonight, Alex Reynolds and Johnny Hungy of the Dark Order.
Your favorites.
Yeah. I mean, they have no chance. It's ridiculous.
You always complain. You always say, like, John Silver needs to be on pay-per-view, and
Yeah.
now you're finally getting it.
I mean, it'd be good if it had a little bit more of a build and there was something behind it and maybe there was a chance that he would win. It would be good if they had something set up where it's like, you believe he would win. He gets good reactions from the crowd. The crowd likes him, right? He's pretty over. They've just
they turned
never
heel, so
have they turned
kind of
heel?
hurt him a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they never really struck when it was hot with those guys. They never really went at it and gave them a real decent push. I think they're doing more stuff in Ring of Honor now. Seems like they're less in AEW and more in Ring of Honor.
And it is for the Ring of Honor tag titles, so it makes some sense they'd win them.
But I mean, could the Kingdom stop them? Stop Adam Cole and MJF? That was a decent promo this week. The Mike Kanellis, what do you call it? Mike Bennett promo?
Mike Bennett, yes. You can call him Kanellis too, I guess.
Well, that was his name in WWE. Remember, he was Mike Kanellis in WWE. They're like, yeah, we'll sign you. Mike Bennett, that's your Ring of Honor name? Oh, you're married to Maria. We're going to bring her in too, and we're just going to give you her last name, and you're just going to be, your gimmick is you're married to Maria, and you two love each other. That's all they did with him. It was fucking ridiculous. It was so bad.
Oh,
poor bastard.
Remember at the end where like Maria was bashing Mike, saying that he wasn't a good lover?
Oh,
in the end?
yeah. Yeah, and she was like pregnant with his child and just like shitting on him on TV.
That was terrible stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is better for him. This is better stuff for him. On Dynamite with Roderick Strong and Adam Cole. Yeah.
Yeah, decent promo, yeah.
But I think Adam Cole and MJF probably retain. I don't think those guys are gonna cost them the belts yet. I think eventually those guys will take the belts from them, but I don't think they'll cost them the belts here.
That's why it wasn't the Kingdom winning the Battle Royal. I think they'll eventually win, but not now. And I think they want MJF and Adam Cole to have a decent reign as tag champs.
They're starting a tournament where the winner will face MJF in New York at Arthur Ashe Stadium at Grand Slam in a few weeks on Dynamite, I think. Maybe end of September.
Mid-late, yeah.
Yeah. So Roderick Strong is in the tournament. Does he win? Does Adam Cole win? Like, who's your pick to win that tournament? They said they're going to start it next week on Dynamite. They haven't really given us a bracket of, who's in or whatever, but you have a pick for who might win that tournament and
Roddy
face
makes
MJF?
Sense. Roddy makes a lot of sense because he's got some beef there. So, and then Adam Cole, MJF, it was a good match, but I don't think we need to see it again right now. I'd rather the Roddy match actually, unless they have someone else who potentially face MJF. But I don't think Punk's going to be in this tournament, so yeah, it should be Roddy.
Punk's not going to be in the tournament. It starts on Dynamite. Punk's not allowed to be on Dynamite. Remember?
There you go. So yeah, it should be Roddy.
Stupid ass fucking wrestling company, not allowed to be on Dynamite. Samoa Joe defending his Ring of Honor television title against Shane Taylor.
Well, if you know Ring of Honor, you know who he is. And if you don't know Ring of Honor, you don't know who he is. So it's pretty much that.
It's an AEW show, right?
Yeah, but they need matches.
Why?
And Joe usually has good matches, so put Samoa Joe on.
That's what we need, more wrestling. Chicago must really love wrestling because they get a lot of AEW. They did Dynamite. They're doing Collision. And they got a pay-per-view on Sunday. They must love it. They're there all the time.
There's like a convention going on right now, too, isn't there?
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Tony Khan's actually doing like a convention there, and they're doing interviews. That's what Dennis Rodman's there. And AEW was able to get him because of that, I think.
Yes, Dennis Rodman will be on Collision for some reason.
Yes.
Because he played for the Chicago Bulls, and they're in Chicago, and he was in wrestling in the late 90s, and it's wrestling, so perfect. Dennis Rodman. People maybe haven't seen Dennis Rodman lately. He's like barely intelligible. You will understand nothing of what he says. He may mumble some things about North Korea, basketball, and walk away. Gonna be a mess. Don't give him a live mic, please. Or do it. Well, I mean, it'll probably be the most entertaining, ridiculous thing on the show. Dennis Rodman. Cool. Way to stay current. Nice. Big get. Hey, tough to get.
I like throwbacks. And what I remember from WCW is just like when he was on, you didn't know what to expect. And that was back in his prime. So I wonder what we're going to get now.
Yeah. Nothing good.
Again, it could be entertaining.
I heard they're going to book Karl Malone and Jay Leno to jump him.
Ooh, I don't know about Karl Malone. I think he's a little busy.
What's he doing?
Oh, you don't know about him. He's got a lot of kids, apparently, so. More kids than you, that's for sure.
Well, so what if he's got a lot of kids? Does he have weird situations?
Well, yeah, it's much weirder. I think there's about, like, him claiming they're not his kids stuff, but they are his kids, and there's that kind of stuff, so. And there might be something about underage people involved, so. Karl Malone, I don't know, would fit.
Well, I just Googled Karl Malone, and the first questions that come up the first question about Karl Malone is, when did Karl Malone date a 13-year-old? And you go, what? Why is that the first thing that comes up when you Google Karl Malone? It was revealed in 1998 that Malone was involved in paternity lawsuits, and later was discovered that the Utah Jazz Center was suspected of having impregnated Gloria Bell when she was just 13 years old. The incident took place in 1983 during Malone's second year at Louisiana Tech University, where he was in his 20s and was suspected of impregnating a 13-year-old? Pardon me, mailman?
So I don't think he's going to be on
But also,
AEW or
how
in
many
any
MVPs does he have? 2-time NBA MVP.
I thought it
Karl
was two.
Malone, the
Yeah, I thought it was-
mailman.
yeah.
Man, he was good at basketball and wrestling and impregnating 13-year-olds. Good at it. Success in all 3 departments. What the fuck? Okay, well, maybe you don't get Karl Malone, I guess. Maybe get, Karl Malone is not the only NBA player to have weird sex things going on. It seems like it's a thing with the league. If you're an NBA player, chances are there's going to be some weird sex going on.
Well, wasn't Dennis Rodman married to Carmen Electra at one
I mean,
point?
Dennis Rodman is having weird sex, you know? Yes, he was married to Carmen Electra at one point. I don't know if there's anything weird about that. That seems pretty normal. But
well, it was like they got married and they got like divorced the next day or something. Like,
yeah, well, I think he was cheating on her. I remember, I think Hulk Hogan was like, "How do you cheat on Carmen Electra, brother?" Or maybe Eric Bischoff was saying that. Hogan could understand how you could do it. Hogan's doing it all the time, brother. What are we talking about? Fucking Dennis Rodman, because he's going to be on AEW. What a stupid show. I wouldn't book Dennis Rodman. Dude, Dennis Rodman versus Mike Tyson, AEW main event collision. See what happens. Roll the dice.
I don't know what they're going to do with him. Maybe a confrontation with Big Bill. That could be interesting. 2 big guys.
So will Samoa Joe beat Shane Taylor?
Yeah, I got Joe beating Taylor. I don't know about you.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah. I don't know. And Eddie Kingston and Katsuyori Shibata against Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta.
Why?
Because the people love Eddie Kingston, John.
Okay. I don't know why we're getting this match. Shibata, like, this is happening why exactly?
I don't know.
This feels like we had no other plans. It's just like, well, we'll just give you a match.
And that's AEW All Out this coming Sunday. Looks like trash. I think Eddie Kingston and Shibata will win. I hope we get a CM Punk match to save the show.
I'll go with Claudio and Wheeler because I think it's non-title, right? There's no titles on the line that match?
No. No titles.
I'll go with the heels.
Okay. Eddie Kingston beat Wheeler Yuta on Dynamite?
That was for the New Japan Openweight title, right?
Right. Eddie Kingston. Cool. Can't wait till Bryan Danielson comes back. Maybe he can right the ship. I heard October.
They're saying, but will that be in time for Wrestle Dream?
Whatever. Whatever he does is going to be better than everything else in the company, so who cares? Doesn't matter when he comes back. It's just, the fact that he will be back at some point, it'll reestablish the order of things.
Well, he would help sell another pay-per-view that AEW is trying to sell, I think.
Yeah. He's a draw.
As long as he's in a good match, like if they put him in like Anarchy in the Arena, like kind of hurts him a bit, but
yeah. Let's see CM Punk try to pick a fight with him.
I mean, I don't know about you. When I think about the next year All In, right away I think, well, Punk versus Bryan, that's a great main event right there.
Yeah.
But I feel that they're going to go in a different direction. I feel because they wanted to do Bryan and Nigel McGuinness, right? I felt like they were going towards that direction.
Mm.
And I feel like that's what's going to happen next year. So if that's going to be the case, then they really need to get Punk versus Omega for next year's All In. They got to find a way to make that happen.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice.
Just think about it, though. Like, this year's All In was more of like, well, we're having it. And it's going to be a big thing. But now that they've had it, they have to treat this as like this is their WrestleMania, which they didn't really do this year. It's just like, well, it's happening. We'll see what happens. But now they got to build it with a great card, I think, and have like the best matches you can possibly have. And those are two of the best matches I think you can possibly have.
If All In is WrestleMania, All Out is Backlash.
Oh yeah, or Payback.
Yeah, Payback. Pro wrestling really giving us very little effort this weekend, it feels like. WWE giving us another low effort show. Very mid wrestling card. Feels like a house show. There's nothing on this.
One.
Right?
Steel cage match. Steel City street fight.
Oh, steel cage match, okay? I've seen steel cage matches at house shows.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. Remember when we saw Triple H versus Randy Orton in a steel cage at a house show?
Right before the pay-per-view where we saw it, yes.
But I mean, that's box office, brother. Becky and Trish, like, no offense, but we saw The Game and Randy Orton in a cage at a house show. So, I mean, don't tell me you don't have big cage matches at house shows. That match was garbage, by the way. But I'm saying, name value, pretty good. And this?
I'm not expecting a great cage match here. Like, this is going to be Trish's first cage match. This is the reason why we're having this cage match, because she never had one before, so she had to have one. I don't know how good this is going to be, because like they have to jump off the cage, and I don't expect them doing much in terms of big jumps. Maybe a cross body or something. That's as good as you're going to get. No elbow drops, no splashes, I don't think.
I think Becky wins once and for all. Gets it over with here. Gets her win.
Yeah, that's fair to say. I don't know if it's over, though, because they always love to do another match on Raw for another, 2 months. But, yeah, I think Becky wins the feud in a sense, yes.
Angelo says, what's Wrestle Dream? Wrestle Dream is the new AEW pay-per-view that they announced that they're going to do in October. It seems to be some sort of co-promotion with New Japan to honor Antonio Inoki. It's on Inoki's birthday or something?
I think because he died, didn't he?
He died that day or something. That's when the pay-per-view is going to be. It's going to be some sort of tribute to Antonio Inoki that they're going to do every year. AEW New Japan new pay-per-view in October. Right?
And I think they also want to get Mercedes for that show as well. We saw Mercedes at All In, so maybe there's a bit of a tie in there.
We all know her as Sasha Banks, but I know who you're talking about. Mercedes Moné. Huh?
They didn't label her as Sasha Banks, so, not everyone knows those names now.
I mean, Sasha Banks? Everybody knows the boss. It's boss time. All right. Matthew Henley says this whole Payback is complete filler. None of it matters. I agree. Ray Cruz says Payback weak card, All Out weak card. Yup. Double weakness. He says he's saving money this weekend, not spending $50 for All Out. Don't blame you. It's not a good pay-per-view. It doesn't look good at all. We will be watching it, and we will be recapping it for you here on Sunday night. So don't worry. I'll watch it for you. Even though I don't want to, at this point,
people like to see you get angry, so it's okay.
But it's not good for me, man. You know what I'm saying? Some of this is it's not good for me. For me. For my mental health. It's just not good for me. People do like seeing me get angry, but I'm actually angry, so it's not good, it's entertaining, but it's also painful, so.
Well, if they give us some good wrestling, we'll be okay. So just give us good wrestling. We'll survive.
Sometimes even good wrestling can't save the day, John.
Well, we've been in this situation before where we're going to a pay-per-view and it's we have low expectations and they surprise us. So.
Yeah, okay. Becky versus Trish. Maybe we'll surprise you. We both have Becky winning, right?
Yep.
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defending their tag team titles against Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Feels like a match I've seen a million times on Raw. every Raw main event is this match exactly. Please no.
I feel
don't-
like there
I
should
don't
be a
want
title
it.
change, but they've already teased Kevin and Sammy in different feuds already. They're supposed to be wrestling in India, defending their tag titles next week. So, and they did the whole thing with the Street Profits tonight. So, I don't see them losing.
No, I don't see them losing either. You made a good point about the Street Profits tonight on Twitter. You're like, it's supposed to be new Street Profits, but it's exactly the same. They're just in suits. It was awful. That promo they did, they were like, and that Montez thing where he was like, I forget what he was saying, like back and forth or whatever the fuck he was doing. It was terrible. It was so cheesy. And I was like, this is exactly the same as what they've always done. They're just wearing suits. And then you tweeted that, and I was like, yeah, exactly. It's not a refresh. It's just an outfit change. And they have Bobby Lashley with them now, who's entertained by their antics.
The best moment was when someone yelled out, "I love you, Bobby," and he just cracked. And he stopped his promo. He's like, "I love you too." That was the best moment of that whole thing. I love that where just wrestlers are caught off guard and they're not expecting something like that. It's good. Real emotion. It's lacking in WWE.
Rhea Ripley defending the Women's World Championship against Raquel Rodriguez. I think Rhea will retain.
Yeah.
Should be an interesting match.
It'll be a bit of a fight.
Yeah.
Won't be like a walkthrough like most of her matches, but yeah, Rhea should retain. I mean, her title reign hasn't been that great so far. You can't talk about the many great title defenses because she hasn't really had any.
I guess not.
You kind of need Becky to get up there now so she can actually have a big title defense.
We have a question in the chat. Matthew Henley says, "I can't." It's not really a question, but he's just a comment. I can't think what's worse, All Out or Payback. On paper, what is worse? I'm going to tell you. I think All Out is worse for one reason and one reason only that Johnny North will firmly disagree with.
Okay.
That's because All Out doesn't have a legit, bona fide legend of the game movie star hosting like John Cena.
I mean, they don't have it, but it's not a bad thing, to be honest.
I mean, it helps. If they had John Cena, come on.
John
if
Cena
AEW had John
tonight.
Cena hosting their show, it would be massive. WWE has John Cena. AEW has Dennis Rodman. Tell me who the B company is.
But explain to me this before I get to that. Like
John
explain
Cena.
To me, but his promo,
back.
it made no sense though.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's terrible. He's back. He's back for months too. It's like this is gonna ruin SmackDown.
He's back for months. He's teaming with Seth Rollins to take on Imperium next week in India when they do the show in India. His first ever match in India. He takes Jimmy Uso. He's like, fuck you, Jimmy Uso. Attitude adjustment. Suck it, Jimmy Uso. Tremendous. He's back for months. He's going to be on SmackDown for several weeks. Oh, baby, terrible. It's John Cena, pal.
Worst thing that could have happened. Like, it didn't make any sense. He said, for 3 years, I've wanted to tell you the wrong Uso quit. What?
Yeah, it made no sense.
What are you talking?
3 years.
No sense.
He quit 2 weeks ago. What do you mean, John? What are you talking about? How you been waiting 3 years to tell him something you just found out about 2 weeks ago? What?
And I see people are like, oh, what a burn on Jimmy Uso. Like, what are you talking about?
Made no sense.
Made no sense.
And then they replayed it, too. They're like, yeah, replay it. I've been waiting 3 years. The replay of what Cena says to him. I've been waiting 3 years to tell you this. The wrong Uso quit. I'm like, Jey Uso didn't quit 3 years ago. He quit 3 weeks ago, John Cena. What? What? It was weird. It was a weird thing to say. Yeah. But whatever, he's back. He's a star, man. He's a star. He's a legit guy. He looks jacked as hell. He's John Cena. He means something. He means something to the business. And Matthew Henley says 75% of people are just watching Payback to see Cena. Most of the people that are going to be watching Payback, and the people in Pittsburgh aren't going to feel ripped off that they got a shitty-ass pay-per-view because at least they got to see John Cena, and he doesn't show up very often. I mean, that's really what it is. Cena is there because the show sucks. And Roman's not there, right? Roman's on vacation or hurt or whatever, so they're like, we need a star for SmackDown. Here's John Cena for the next 2 months.
See, that's another thing, too, with the whole, like, Payback commercial they kept airing all the time throughout SmackDown. They show, like, Solo, they show Jimmy, they show Jay, they show Roman, they show Brock, they show Logan Paul. None of these people are booked for the pay-per-view or premium live event.
Yeah.
Like, false advertisement beyond false advertisement.
Yeah.
Like, I think the people in Chicago will be happy as long as they get Punk.
Yeah, but they might not.
Well, that's it. The fact that it's a maybe is, like, really bad.
Yeah.
But that's the situation we're in.
It's so stupid. So John Cena's back. Great to see Big John Cena back in the mix.
I don't think
Gunther
he's
is
gonna
not on
wrestle that
Payback.
much.
No Gunther. Cena is the host of Payback, whatever that means. Cena will wrestle at some point. I don't think he's going to wrestle against Jimmy Uso, but what is he back for? What is he here to do?
Well, there's a writer's strike going on, so, he needs something to do in the meantime, so.
Yeah, but for WWE, like, what's the match?
I mean, in terms of who he had something with Grayson Waller, right? So that's one right there. And you can always go back to The Miz. As much as we don't like it, there's always something that you can go back to. How many times has he gone back to The Miz? He did 2 WrestleManias with The Miz.
I guess. Next WWE pay-per-view after this is Fastlane, October 7th in Indianapolis. And then we got Survivor Series November 25th in, guess where?
Chicago?
Yeah. Man, they really like wrestling in Chicago. Fucking marks. What's wrong with those people?
Well, I've said it. Chicago is one of the best places in the States.
It's crazy.
I wrestled in Chicago. It's fantastic, to be honest. Yeah. So I'm not surprised whatsoever. Great wrestlers there and great fan base. Like, Chicago is great. UK, Chicago, like, amazing fan base. Montreal's pretty good too.
Do you think we see Team Cena at Survivor Series?
Against what, the Bloodline?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'd rather see Cena, like, in a match, but I also fear that Cena at this point, as we saw the match with Theory, maybe him in one-on-one match is not the best of idea. Maybe hiding him in those kind of tag matches, especially like a garbage match like War Games, that might be a good idea.
Him against Grayson Waller is not something I need to see.
Yeah.
Well,
that should be 2 minutes at most.
Yeah. I don't know what else you do with Cena. LA Knight?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's cool to have confrontations, but a match? I don't know if it'd be good. Like, as you saw Cena with Theory, like, you don't want to expose Cena in that situation. Maybe put him in tags and just let him do his little comeback thing, and that's pretty much the best you can get out of Cena.
It doesn't have to be good. A win over John Cena for LA Knight does a whole lot for his career and the way he looks and the push,
I guess, sure. But I feel like they're on the right path with LA right now. Just give them wins against current guys that you see all the time. Like, give them that Cena win at a big show. Like, at a Mania would be fantastic for him.
Yeah. LA Knight did a promo with The Miz tonight on SmackDown. It was all right. Miz did a pretty decent LA Knight impression on Raw. He captured him pretty well.
But it's kind of ridiculous because, again, like, he's making fun of LA, like, saying that he's just making, he's doing this, he's just pretending to be a wrestler. But it's like, you're the same thing, Miz. Like, you're just pretending to be a wrestler. Like, and I hated that he said, "Oh, you flubbed your lines," as if to say that it's all scripted when he says that stuff. I hate that.
Yeah. Yeah. But LA did get a little flustered tonight, even in the promo. messed up a little
Yeah,
bit.
but that's fine. You could say, "Oh, you get flustered against me." That's cool, but don't say "flubbed your lines."
Yeah, no, I know what you
hate
mean.
that so much.
Yeah. But Miz is super fake. And he's going to wrestle
Fake as
LA
God.
Knight tomorrow. I think LA Knight should destroy him because Tozawa beat Miz like last week on Raw. So what the hell?
Everyone beats Miz. Miz
Yeah.
has only won like one match this year, so that's his thing. Like he can cut a good promo, hype it up, but he loses all the time. But that's his thing. That he can still be somewhat over.
To who?
To the people that watch Raw every week and have to put up with his segments all the time.
Yeah, he's fucking just. I just wish he would go away. I like LA Knight though. He's fun. He's entertaining. I don't think the match will be very good because he's wrestling The Miz. So, Rey Mysterio defending that newly won United States Championship against Austin Theory. I think Rey will probably retain here. Unless they just gave it to Rey for a short time to flip it back to Theory.
They could have. I wouldn't be. If there's going to be a title change, I think it's here.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think Rey's going to win, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
Yeah. Because it was weird when Rey won the U.S. title, right? It was like, what?
Yep. Yeah, it was kind of odd.
And then to have the rematch so quickly on pay-per-view on this Payback show where there's really nothing, they might have known that they had jack shit for Payback, and they're like, let's flip the title to Rey so we could switch it back and have at least a title change on this show.
Exactly. I could see that easily, yeah.
Yeah. Starting to convince myself I'm going to pick Theory. I think Rey holds on to it just because, why give it back to Austin Theory at this point? He held it for so long, and it's just like, it ran its course. I think we can move on. But I don't know what you're going to do with Rey in the U.S. title here, so I think that could go either way.
Rey's never had long reigns as champion.
Mm-hmm.
He drops those titles very quickly, which is fine, whatever, but I could easily see Theory win. Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe switching my pick too. I don't know.
Seth Freakin defending the World Heavyweight title, probably the main event against Shinsuke Nakamura. They've done a good job, building Nakamura here and trying to raise some doubt. Maybe Seth's back is injured, whatever, but in the end, I'm not super hyped for this match. It feels like a TV match, that's been built up a little bit.
Yep.
I don't see Nakamura having any shot in hell of winning. They haven't really built Nakamura up enough in the past few months where you believe in him as a top star. He just kind of came in out of nowhere. A few weeks ago, he was doing this weird feud with Bronson Reed and Tommaso Ciampa and all that stuff going on for a while. Ricochet was involved before that, right? And that's where Nakamura was. And now we're supposed to believe him as a challenger for Seth Rollins. Like, no, I don't believe that. I think Seth will win. The only thing that might save this is an actual cash-in from Damian Priest, but I don't think we're going to get that.
Could get a tease. But that's about it, I think.
Yeah. Doesn't do much for me. I mean, Nakamura's been talking about how Seth's back is all injured and da-da-da, and he's really hurt. And Seth is confirming that he's hurt. Nakamura's going to attack the back. Seth will win eventually, but he'll be hurt. Priest might want to take advantage, but I don't see it happening here. I don't really see Priest being the next champion on Raw,
I could see it. I definitely could see it. Maybe not right now, but in the future, yeah. I think it's going to happen, to be honest, yeah.
Like he'll be next after Seth? You think he takes it from Seth?
I can see him take it from Seth. I can see Seth take it back again. It's very possible, but
yeah,
I think he's going to beat Seth.
So why not do the cash in here? What are we waiting for?
Well, Survivor Series is a bigger deal, so. Also,
but you figure you got other stuff happening at Survivor Series. This is supposed to be an event that we're going to take seriously, If this is a serious show, do something serious on it. Because if you look at it top to bottom, everybody's looking at this show going, this is pointless.
You're right.
You kind of want to say, hey, This is worth something. There's a reason why we had this show. Look, we have a new champion. Damian Priest cashed in. This is the kind of sleeper show where they might want to throw a cash in, you know, just to make it like, see, this was worth something.
And 3 years ago, on Payback, around this time, that's when this whole Roman Reigns era started.
Roman's been
So
champion
food for
for
thought on that
3 years. I saw the 3-year anniversary was a few days ago.
He's at what, 1,200 some odd days now?
Pretty good. Good for him. He's had a
It's
hell of
like
a
your
run.
son says, that's what makes a great champion, makes a great wrestler, is by his title reign.
Yeah, that's right. That's why he said Bruno Sammartino is the best wrestler ever. Longest title reign, best wrestler.
For now.
Yeah, until Roman takes him. He's third, right?
I think fourth, because it's
Really?
Bruno, Backlund, Hogan, then Roman.
Yeah, Backlund. Bob Backlund, baby. 1,097 days. Tribal Chief. Good thing there's no 30-day defense clause, you know, like in the old days.
Oh, they forgot about that a long time. Well,
Yep.
you say that for a lot of people. Kevin was injured for a while, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's WWE Payback will be on right after Payback.
Hopefully
And
not a
on
long
after
show.
All Out. Say it again.
Hopefully not a long show, Payback. All Out, probably a long show.
Yeah, AEW just loves doing marathon wrestling shows. Just bombardment of wrestling. WWE, I think Payback will be short and sweet. It's a 6-match card right now, John. Starts at 8. I think it'll be over by 11. Maybe 10:30, quite frankly. Like, this thing is not going to last long.
Not bad.
6 matches. You think they add something? 6 is not a lot. I guess, well, hold on. 6 matches, but also Cody Rhodes is going to be on the Grayson Waller Experience, right? There's going to be some sort of interview segment, so that'll take up some time. So that's another segment. It's usually about 7 matches, but with the Cody Rhodes thing, plus John Cena promos. Okay.
I remember you were very upset. Was it SummerSlam? What? Just how they drag stuff
Yeah.
from segment to segment? So, yeah, WWE can make this long if they want to. Just by airing packages all the time.
Air this package, WWE. I think the Cody Rhodes thing will be not good. Like him talking to Grayson Waller, like what's that going to set up? A match between Cody and Grayson Waller, maybe? Or Cody is going to have some sort of announcement, like he's going to run for president, or he's going to challenge the winner of Nakamura Seth for the title. Like what?
It's an idea. Yeah. I
Challenge
actually
the winner.
wouldn't mind that.
He
Yeah,
should
that'd
say
be
that.
pretty good, actually.
He's like, I beat Brock.
Should.
I'm not booked here for some reason. I got winner of Seth versus Nakamura. I'm Cody Rhodes. I mean, hasn't happened yet, right? Cody was, I think, gonna say it. Seth came out. They had a little interview thing, but then the Judgment Day came out, and then Cody and Seth decided to team up.
Right.
And that's where we left it with Cody and Seth. But, you know. Or maybe Cody will say, I will never challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. He does that sometimes.
That's only because he lost the match. But yeah.
To MJF.
Right.
All right. Well, we'll be back here tomorrow night after Payback. Whenever that is. 10:30, 11, something. And then after All Out as well on Sunday, which is crazy. Crazy.
And is there a UFC the following week?
Yep, UFC 293 in Australia next Saturday, the 9th of September. Israel Adesanya going to beat the shit out of Sean Strickland. That'll be fun to see. That'll be quick. I can't imagine that fight lasting more than 5 minutes.
I can see why you don't like September so much. It's not starting off great for you here
Oh,
with the weekends.
I hate that the summer's over. I hate the winter.
Still feels wonderful outside.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hot this weekend and everything, but it's just, it's the sign. Things are over. September sucks. September sucks. It leads to October, which leads to November, which leads to December, which leads to January, February, March. I hate all those months.
You get through February and you're okay, I think.
March is so long. April kind of
yes.
turns things around. Baseball starts. Springtime, better. Springtime, summertime, good. Fall, winter, I especially hate fall. There's nothing cool about fall. Like Angela's like hockey season is upon us. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing I like about it. Nothing. There's nothing I like about fall, winter. There's nothing like cool happening,
Wait till next year. You have your Yankees back in the playoffs, maybe.
Yeah, but even then, I mean, it'd be over by November. You know what I'm saying?
Well, at least you have that. October, November, something.
People like NFL, people like hockey. Like, I'm a baseball fan. Baseball season's coming to an end.
You do watch Super Bowl every year.
Yeah, I watch the Super Bowl because my friend Eric makes really good chicken wings, and I go over for the chicken wings and I hang out with my friend Eric because, I don't get to see my friends too much. So it's good. It's a good occasion to get together with people.
Live for the moments.
Live for the moment. See why Jeff Hardy did all those drugs. Fucking love drugs. Yeah. Let's go. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks, Angelo. Thanks for calling, Angelo. We'll try and work it out and have you back on again.
Did you have a question? I thought I saw a question, Angelo, popped up earlier on. Unless we already answered it, maybe.
Matthew Henley says, Dave, do you know why AEW are doing 2 huge pay-per-views a week apart? Because they're stupid, Matthew. Because they're stupid.
I wish they'd have a bundle or something where it's not $100. That's kind of rough.
Tony Khan said he was trying to do it, but he couldn't get it done. Oh, well.
Yeah, I'm sure he really tried.
Thanks, Tony.
It's too bad. You got to pay all that money now.
I'm so disappointed in what AEW has become. I had such high hopes for AEW when it started, and just what it's become is just like, man, this isn't what I thought it would be.
All In was great, though. I mean,
it was. Bad. Like, it's a good wrestling company. It does a lot of things well, but there's so much where I go, what? Why? They do so much where I go, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, they need to fix this. And unfortunately, we're doing this again next year, too. I think that's the worst part about this, is that we're going to get All In, All Out like this again next year. They think this is okay. And it's not okay.
Jimmy James suggests shoot Harry on in the winter. I think he meant something else, but I'm not going to do that. That seems
I don't suggest
extreme. That. No.
It didn't work out for a lot of people.
It makes some pretty good music, though. I'll tell you that, brother. That Harry on makes some good music. Baseball playoffs could be good, but I just hate all the teams in the playoffs. I hate them for making the playoffs and not being the Yankees. Although Harrison Bader got put on waivers and the Reds picked him up, and from what I understand, the Reds might actually make the playoffs this year, so maybe I'll root for Harrison Bader. I like him. Good Yankee. He's no longer with the team. Yeah, but the Yankees won't be making the playoffs. Big prospect for the Yankees, Jason Dominguez. They call him the Martian. Played most of the year in Double-A. Got called up to Triple-A like a week or two ago. Tonight he made his big league start with the Yankees because they're calling up all the kids because they're like, all right, we're getting rid of all these old guys. We're bringing up all the young guys because we're going to start fresh for next year. It's kind of like spring training starting early. Jason Dominguez.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's really good. They got Austin Wells up. They got Jason Dominguez. They called up some other players last week, Pereira. So tonight they have Jason Dominguez in the lineup. They call him the Martian. First at bat, first pitch thrown from Justin Verlander in Houston, 2-run home run for the Martian. I was like, yes.
Wow.
He's here. The Martian has landed. I was amazed. It's such a good sign. I mean, it doesn't mean too much, but just the fact that he hit a home run off the first major league pitch that he saw, and it was against Justin Verlander, it's like, yes, the Martian is real. Amazing. 6-2 victory for the Yankees tonight. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet.
Yeah,
They're
maybe they'll go back to 500.
They might get back to 500. They're 66 and 69 right now, but they won tonight. And Jason Dominguez hit a home run, which is the most important part. So, Aaron Judge missed like a month and a half of the season, and he's still like 4th or 5th in the American League for home runs.
That.
It's ridiculous.
I saw that, yeah.
Ridiculous. What a freak. Dominguez and Judge on the same team is going to be serious. Serious. Next year, get ready. It's going to be fun.
Just work on the pitching.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the hitting that hurt them this year. The bats just went real quiet. That's some bad spots. Angelo's saying they still won't make the playoffs. Yeah, no shit, Angelo. I mean, it's out of it. I just said spring training started early. You know what I mean? Like, we've given up on this year. We're working towards next year already here. It's over.
Unless he meant next year, too. But...
Well,
which
that's
is hard
rude.
to say.
Yeah, it's impossible to say.
Well, you got to say that it's a tough division, though.
Yeah, sure, but
everyone's
doesn't mean
great. Like,
yeah, doesn't mean they can't figure out a way to make the playoffs next year.
Well, you got to hope some teams start to suffer a little bit because it's tough when everyone's over 500.
Yeah, for sure. You say we need pitching. I think Garrett Cole's going to win the Cy Young this year. So you got a Cy Young ace on your staff, starting off pretty good.
Rodon, though, like, he's not going to win.
Yeah, Rodon was a bust. I mean, he might pick it up. Severino was a bust. Rodon and Severino both were serious disappointments this year. Nestor Cortez was hurt all year. We had no nasty Nestor.
There was injuries.
We had no Severino. Yeah. And we had no Rodon. When Rodon and Severino did show up, they weren't great. Nestor never really showed up. Big injuries in the pitching staff. That hurt. Aaron Judge being out for a month and a half hurt a lot. Tony Rizzo had a concussion that was undiagnosed for like a month and a half or 2 months, and then they took him off, and it was like, what? Like, they pulled him out of play like, what, late July, early August maybe? And he got a concussion in May?
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Like, what the hell was that? So, Anthony Rizzo not being 100% for most of the season hurts too. Like, there's a lot of things that kind of played against the Yankees this year, but that's baseball. That's pro sports. That's how shit goes sometimes. We'll see what happens next year, But you never give up if you're a Yankee fan because eventually the World Series is going to come. You just have to wait. But it's coming. Some baseball franchises, you sit around, you wait, and you hope. I was an Expo fan, okay? 18 years of my life before they moved away. Expo fan. And, you wanted them to win the World Series, but you didn't think they ever were going to, You wanted it to happen, but you didn't expect it. With the Yankees, you expect the World Series. And when it doesn't come, you're kind of surprised and angry about it. But you know that eventually it will come because it's the Yankees, and if they don't bring a World Series, we will burn Yankee Stadium to the fucking ground. Not literally, but figuratively, people will get fucking upset.
2009. It's been a while, man.
I know. I'm upset. Yeah, but hey, John, 1993. It's been even longer.
This is why appreciate the good draft picks you're going to get.
Yeah. How's that?
Eventually, it pays off.
How's 30 years of good draft picks working out for your hockey team there, John?
Well, you give them time, they pay off.
Do they?
Yeah.
30 years?
Well, they weren't last all the time. They actually made the playoffs a couple of times. Went to the finals. You don't get a good draft pick when you make the finals.
There are grown men with children that weren't alive the last time the Canadians won the Stanley Cup, John. That's your dynasty team. That's your franchise. Not too good.
Well, your kids haven't seen any World Series championships yet, so.
Okay. Fair enough, I guess. They're going to get one, though, pretty soon. They're going to get one pretty soon. I don't know about you and your deal. All right. That's enough of that. Ray Cruz says, Dave, I finally watched and finished How To with John Wilson. You're right. Very funny show. Yes. Well, I don't think you finished it because unless you watch the new episode that aired tonight, the finale aired tonight. So I think it's the finale, like not the season finale. It's like the series finale, which
wow,
is so sad. I don't want it to end. It's very sad. It's my favorite show.
It's like Seinfeld. Everything has come to an end eventually.
Yeah, I guess. But Seinfeld had like 1 million episodes. This has like, 6 per season? 3 seasons? It's not enough. And like, what now? What now, John Wilson? What do we do now? How do we do things without John Wilson explaining them to us?
Well, you have the Frasier reboot coming up, so you'll be okay.
Oh, baby. I hear the blues are calling. Here we go. It's Frasier. When is that coming out?
Did you hear it too? It's Frasier has re-entered the building now.
Oh, I thought he's left the building.
No, he's re-entered now.
Frasier has re-entered the building. They're calling again. October 12th on Crave, new Frasier? Oh, shit!
I was going to say I thought October, but yeah.
Is that one episode per week or all episodes like dumped on me? Do I get like 15 to 20 episodes of Frasier, or is it just one a week and I got to wait? I'll wait, but I want to know the situation.
An episode. It's probably an episode a week, I'm going to guess.
New Frasier, baby. I'm all about that. I'm all about that Kelsey Grammer life. I'm into it. Give me some Roz. Give me some Daphne. Give me some Niles. I know you can't give me Martin because he died, but still, talk about Martin.
There's no Niles, I think. No Daphne. Roz, yes.
Roz is on the show? Nice.
Yeah. But Niles apparently didn't want to do it anymore. That's what Frasier said.
Couldn't get a Niles cameo? The Frasier show without Niles is like, I don't know. Tough, man. That David Hyde Pierce was good. Fucking Niles.
He was, but it's a different thing. He's got a new cast now, so it'll be interesting.
There better be some witty repartee, baby. I love that. It better be really witty. All right?
I hope we get like a Ted Danson cameo. That'd be great.
Ted Danson. You know you're going to get a Lilith cameo. For sure, Lilith.
Well,
Lilith and Sam Malone are going to get appearances, so we will see Ted Danson. I'm getting fantastic. The news here. Breaking news. I'm getting a little information.
Breaking news.
Sam Malone. Ted Danson, baby.
Still trying to get that baseball career going again.
Yo. Ted Danson and Kelsey Grammer on TV together. I'm there. What the fuck? I'm watching The Shield. Fred has been bothering me for years to watch The Shield, and it was on Amazon Prime, so I'm watching that. I'm getting through that many seasons. It's pretty intense. That Michael Chiklis says everything in like an angry whisper. I'm gonna get things done. Michael Chiklis. Vic Mackey. I'm Vic Mackey. He's real intense. It's all right. I like it. It's a good show. But Fred's like, it's better than Sopranos. Fuck out of here. Doesn't even touch Sopranos. Not even close, bro.
Everyone has their favorites, though.
Yeah, well, some people are incorrect. Fucking Sopranos was the best. All right, that's it. I'm seeing you tomorrow. Why am I talking about Sopranos? Goodbye. Good night. I'll be back after Payback here on the Ringside Report Network. Shout out to Angelo. Shout out to Ray Cruz. All the members. Matthew Henley. Trying to check if there was other members in the chat tonight. I think it was just those guys in the chat tonight. Thanks, everybody, for watching. What?
Call back Angelo to another day. Well, hopefully it will work.
Yeah, maybe he'll be upside down again, though. I just want him to hear us for him to hear me, but I want him to be upside down. I think upside down is fun. I want to be upside down. I think it would be more fun for the show.
Angelo broke the show. He should feel some sort of accomplishment off that.
He did break the show. Angelo just came through, and the show just fucking died on the vine. Just fucking destroyed. Crushed the show. Yeah, Ray, there's more episodes of How To. Oh, shit, I'm upside down. Cool. Now I'm going. Bye. Bye.